I've got a client sitting here right now next to me. I want him to preserve his anonymity, so I'm not going to show you him. But he's here. And before our session, he sent me this thing called Super Nuggets I learned from Marty Nemko. That's me, in case you don't know. Anyway, I thought it would be of use for you to hear them, and for him to hear somebody else read those aloud as a way of locking them into his brain and perhaps introducing them to your brain. So I'm going to read it to you unedited. Foundational to everything. I encourage you to believe that you are a good man. I'm referring to him. Because I know you are. You can walk the earth, whether by yourself, with other founders, with a woman, with clients, feeling good about who you are. His next section, these are much shorter. The rest of these are much shorter. That was his kind of foundational quote that he seemed to like. This is now, he's got a section called On How to Do Life. Status is the enemy of contentment. Status is the enemy of freedom. Status is the enemy of success. Don't spend emotional energy on distractions. Don't compete with others, just with yourself. Being organized is key to your sanity. Curate. People, what you read, what you do. Learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Journaling is empowering. Reflection, and a place where you generate your own ideas. Make working not a choice. Did you hear the thunder or lightning in the background? I mean, maybe either what I'm saying is offensive to the gods, or the gods saying, right on, dude. Okay. Low-risk actions. Take low-risk actions and revise based on the results. Big lesson learned. Take a baby step. Do things sequentially. His next category is peace of mind. Work hard, play easy. I'm assuming what he means by that is relaxing, not drug-induced, pleasurable, not super-duper competitive where you throw your golf club kind of thing. Or get shit-faced. Avoid substances. Exercise. By the way, recent study shows that exercise is really more and more data showing it's the best antidepressant and anti-anxiety. Do what you can control and let go of what you can't. Enjoy simple pleasures. Like right now, he's drinking a cup of coffee. Take micro breaks. He didn't write this, but stretch, one deep breath, play with the dog for a minute, look at nature, whatever. Solutions to burnout. Mini vacation breaks, that's like day trips or hour-long hikes. Prioritize the important. Find small ways to recharge. Cure for rumination? Have an experimental mindset. Take those low-risk actions and monitor the results and revise if needed. His next category is called On Acceptance. Accept who you are. This is who I am. Self-acceptance. Accept your basic self. Find a place where that core self can thrive and make modest, incremental efforts to improve. His next category is time management. Always think, how can I do this quickly and reasonably? Is this a good use of my time? Be conscious of each moment. Consciously decide, how are you going to spend each moment? Can I do anything to fix this right now? If not, put your attention elsewhere. Ritualize unpleasant tasks. Like I'm doing my taxes now. I make a point of doing a little chunk of it, one form or whatever, and then giving myself a break or a pleasure or whatever. Or like it's not fun for me, for example, silly little thing, but like I don't like brushing my teeth, but I make it part of my ritual. Right before I go to bed, I brush my teeth. Keep refining your daily routines. Kind of what we're talking about here. Your shower routine, your evening bedtime routine, whatever. Use the 1 second start to get you moving when you're procrastinating. Because this I'm adding here. Just 1 second is a not intimidating amount of time, and the object in motion tends to stay in motion, so you just start. And then you say, what's my next 1 second task or few second task? He wrote down the word 1 minute struggle without explanation, so I'll explain it to you. Most often, when you're working on a project, if you haven't made real progress in the first minute, you're not going to, and then it becomes very painful staring at a blank screen or whatever, and that makes you want to procrastinate. So try to make the rule that you're going to struggle with a roadblock for 1 minute, and then decide, can I do the project without it? Do I need to come back to it later with fresh eyes? Should I email somebody for help? Whatever. The 1 minute struggle is a not obvious approach to dealing with procrastination. Now I'm back to reading him verbatim. Could I spend 10 minutes automating something and never have to do it again? Do you really need to set up or go to that meeting? What are the least number of people possible that I should invite to this meeting? Should I more often say no to other people's meetings? Then I don't know quite what this meant, but he wrote, schedule blocks of your time. I guess block out certain times for what you want to do. The goals need to matter to you and what you and they truly want to achieve. That is, don't work toward other people's goals. His next category is procrastination. Prime motivators to not procrastinate. I want to be successful in my career. I want to reduce anxiety. And over the time, I will feel worse about myself if I procrastinate. Again, he writes this, it's the same as the 1 second start. A task bit, in other words, start with just a little bit, because it's far easier to maintain momentum than to get it. His next category is a term I use called U-University, Y-O-U University. With regard to knowledge acquisition, filter your ass off for nuggets. And when you reach the point of diminishing returns on what you're learning, you're done with that. He writes just a rich set of nuggets and super nuggets. That means collect them in a Word file. As you encounter like this Easter egg, if you will, as we're approaching spring, a nugget that's an Easter egg, something good, put it in your basket, which is usually a Microsoft Word file. Consider reading books with multiple authors. Collective wisdom is better than one. Drop things that suck. That's the curation thing. People, books, TV, binge watching. My wife and I last night watched our 3rd episode of Blacklist. And my wife said, it's not worth it. I just don't give a shit. So we're going to drop it. It's been going on for 9 seasons, 20 episodes per season. But after 3 episodes, we're dropping. We'll find something else. More lightning and thunder. The gods have been prodded. Choose wise people for your mentors. Really true. Ideas matter more than people. Controversial, but it may be true. Objective reality. He says, I think this for these, I don't know what that means. Anyway, the next category is health. Exercise, we talked about that before. Sleep, really important. Really important. A regular ritual, keep your room cool. You deserve your 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep, depending on your age and needs. You deserve it. You deserve to think about nothing other than butterflies, love, nothing. Breathe in and breathe out slowly. You deserve to sleep. Otherwise, you can't be good during the next day and you feel like shit. Nutrition. I'm not a nut about. He just wrote the word nutrition. I like balance. I don't think my last client yesterday felt guilty about eating gummy bears. Father Nemko, Rabbi Nemko, whatever, gave him absolution and said, you know what? I asked him how often he eats gummy bears. He says once a week. Eat your fucking gummy bears. Yeah. Normally you don't want to eat a lot of meat. You don't want to get fat. Are you fat? No, I haven't seen this guy. The guy who lives in Colorado. No, he's not overweight. Then enjoy the damn gummy bears without guilt. Money. He writes, spending your way to happiness is foolish. The material enslaves. Avoid the transient shopper's high. Means you'll get high for a minute on having bought this cool new thing, and then it dissipates. Be wise about purchases. That's meaning cost effective. Don't just buy fancy brand names. They're usually overpriced, like a Tesla, as opposed to a Toyota Corolla. Spend and invest efficiently. And that normally refers to using like all-in-one funds, like BlackRock's LifePath funds or Vanguard's all-in-one funds. Really, I'm not a financial advisor, but most experts would say that's very savvy, low risk, low stress, potentially quite profitable investment. Someone who is the best in the nation at something is entitled to make $200,000 a year, but aim to make a moderate living, not millions. And I'm going to add here, because you usually pay a price for trying to make more money. Your life goes crazy, and you may not even make much more of a difference. Don't go crazy. Aim to make $200,000 a year. That allows you to live a good life. So I'm getting some water. Focus on doing things that play to your strengths, that are pleasurable, ethical, and that improve the world, or at least your sphere of influence. Choose to live in modest housing. That's the most that's the most important key to having the freedom to do the work you want, because housing is the biggest expense along with higher education. Live in modest housing, even if it's not in a great neighborhood. You'll derive far more benefit than the risk, say, of crime or whatever. Solohood. Man is a social animal, he puts in quotes, is a gross simplification. It's a cliche. There is a solid case that can be made for solohood. How do you want to use your solo freedom? Have a personal life that doesn't bring unnecessary stress, which brings him to his next category, dating. Stop looking for people and start looking for the right person. You do the reaching out, and then you curate carefully. Have high standards. And this I'm reading verbatim, but it's certainly my language. Only date the best fucking women, nothing but the finest. Cut your losses quickly. Kindness and intelligence are important, and they have to be reasonably well adjusted. No marijuana. Don't just think with your dick. Never get crazy, never get mean. And with women, no ball busters. Kindness matters. Integrity matters. Where might you find them? Teachers, nurses, social workers, librarians, not marketing managers. Marriage. Marriage is often an albatross. I don't want baggage. Quote, men in love are in April. Men married are in December. Children. Children are a real challenge, often more pain than is worth it. Career. Have a wonderful business. It doesn't need to be super scalable. Lead generation. Have frictionless systems. Choose an ultra-simple business and keep your expenses down. Cut out overhead costs. Work out of your apartment. Good record keeping. The right people, co-workers you respect. Gentler, more authentic people. Have a board of advisors. That's a group of people you respect who you meet once a month with, or once every 2 weeks with by teleconference or whatever, which I do and I encourage. Prioritize brains over experience. Intelligence, drive, and being low maintenance. And that is, by the way, how Google hires a lot. His next category is networking. Prioritize using your connections wisely. How can I get this done quickly and efficiently? Communicate crisply. Regard to writing, write efficiently. Write a crappy first draft and refine toward excellence. Convert those nuggets into articles. Meetings. Make others feel good. Be wise about when to criticize. Disagree sparingly. View a person based on the whole person and overall behavior. Tactful criticism and suggestion, plus and add a tactful suggestion for improvement. Be wise about talking about your accomplishments. Use the traffic light rule. When you speak, your first 30 seconds are green, second 30 are yellow, and 1 minute red means shut up or ask a question. Meetings. Be the last to chime in. You'll get the benefit of what other people have had to say, and so you don't get credit for your idea, big deal. Negotiation. Negotiation won or lost in preparation. It's true. Comparable salaries, what the competitors are doing, whatever. Get things in writing. Talk is cheap. Get clarity at the granular level. Change your job description. More time doing X and less time doing Y. Accentuate your strengths and skirt your weaknesses. In negotiation, politely reject the first offer. In general, accept the second. When hired, your job is in wet cement, but it quickly hardens. So if you want a revision of your job description to accentuate your strengths and skirt your weaknesses, the time to ask for that is even before you start or in the first few days. Conferences. 2 functions of attending: learning and getting business. If possible, get a list of attendees in advance. Have a plan for who you want to make a point of contacting during the conference. Treat the exhibit areas as a treasure. Lots of opportunity to connect for business. There are endless opportunities to connect with people both for learning and business. Standing in line at the breakfast buffet, coming 5 to 10 minutes early to sessions, starting conversations with people, looking at their name tags, asking if they want to sit next to you, ask people to coffee, breakfast, lunch, attend the evening entertainment sessions. Don't waste too much time talking with someone in which the conversation is going nowhere. You can extricate yourself. Wait for a pause in the conversation, then say, "It was good talking with you. Maybe I'll see you later." If the conversation with someone is fruitful, at the end say, "I really enjoyed talking with you. I appreciated learning about X. You want to chat by phone sometime afterward?" Make sure that you are human during your interactions. Don't milk people. People hate being milked. And finally, a couple words about public speaking, which, in addition, calm is more powerful than fire and brimstone. Absolutely. Give a handout that reinforces the main points and provides your contact information. Have only an outline for your presentation, not a script, because that would leach the chemistry. Anyway, that is my client's, what he said is his super nuggets of what he's learned from our sessions and reading my articles and books. Probably most notably my new book, How to Do Life. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I hope it's helpful. I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments, and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.